Hey comic book fans, you're back at Comic Book Corner and you're with me. That's right, the one and only Spider Slayer. That's right, guys. I got a request to do a review on this particular comic book, um, and I must say that it was kind of like this old school feel to it. And this book, I'm going to show you right now, is none other than Stan Lee's Mighty Seven. That's right, guys. Stan Lee, and has his own 6-issue miniseries out. It reminds me of this old school superhero comic book. That's the kind of feel that I got from this first issue. It is done from Stan Lee Comics, I guess, which is associated with Archie Comics. Um, Stan Lee came up with the concept. Tony Blake, Paul Jackson, and Stan Lee did the script, and Alex Savonk is the pencils. Bob Smith was the inks. John Workman did the letters. Tom Smith did the colors, and editing was done by Stan Lee, and your publisher was John Goldwater. This was maybe not like the best book in the world, but it's Stan Lee. Come on, guys. The guy is like, what, in his 80s, and he's still working. So he's kind of, I think, set in his ways, and give the guy a break. It wasn't the best comic book, but it wasn't bad either. It had this X-Men feel to it, and yes, we've seen it before, but you know, there's nothing wrong with it at the same time. Here is a variant cover here from the first issue. Again, this is a 6-issue mini-series on this, so it's not an ongoing. But it looked pretty cool. I like the artwork on it, very colorful. And it's cool that Stan Lee is actually in the comic, and like when he's in it, you actually picture his voice and, you know, and his characteristics and things like that, and that's what makes the comic enjoyable. And then here's artwork from inside the book here. Stan Lee's on the on the computer, and you can see the heroes in the background. Basically, what it is, it's like a comic where it's a reality comic book. Now, it hasn't gotten into that main part of the plot yet. You're basically being introduced to a couple characters and team members that obviously are criminals and don't get along, but I guess you're going to see it come together. But the cover is pretty cool on it. I mean, it's not bad, and I showed you the variant cover. And again, here's this opening page here, and you can see Stan Lee's in it, and you know, he has all these characters that you've never seen before. But the designs are very similar, because they're like Avengers, you know, X-Men like characters. I mean, you can see that there. Even this character here, she's got like vulture wings, you know, and this character over here is kind of like the Wasp, and you can see a lot of similarities. This guy's kind of like Cyclops. You see he's wearing glasses, and he's got ray beams that come out of his hands. This guy, you know, bounces around. He's a ball. So, I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of characters going in here. The art and the writing is actually a little bit old school, which I don't mind. You can tell that Stan Lee did this because it's just like they go into that description of, oh, it's my blaster shields. They can't hold up against his tough ray beams. So the book goes into like all this explanation of, you know, their powers and what they can do. It's really got that 60s, 70s, 80s feel to it. It's just really, really crazy. I mean, the main plot is this guy here is trying to get in to destroy this judge, and we have a marshal, you know, a star marshal here by the name of Asura, which is the winged character trying to stop this guy, and his name is Blastock. So he has powers where he shoots kind of like beams out of his hands, as you can see right there. There's a lot of battling involved in here, and then we see that she gets assistance. Asura gets assistance from this guy right here, who's like pretty strong dude, and his name was Valor. So these are like the star marshals. These guys are like, they take all these wanted criminals in. Eventually what happens after a long battle, and it's, you know, kind of drawn out a little bit, they eventually, you can see the battle right here, they basically take the man into custody, and they take him aboard their spaceship, and he is basically put into like a containment unit or a jail cell with all the other bad guys here. So that's the first time we see all these bad guys. And now as they're heading back, as they're going to where they need to go, I'm not sure where that was, we go back to Earth and we see Stan Lee going into the office, and again he's working with Archie Comics here, and we just see him briefly. Meanwhile, we see the other group, the bad guys. They're just trying to do everything that they can to escape out of this jail cell, and they just can't do it. Then we got this guy who's like the Wasp. He can shrink down to mini size, and he tells the group, "Oh, we can do this. We can break the jail cell, and I can escape through here real quick." And that's basically what happens. So the bad guys just team up, and they use their powers to break this little guy out, and you know he's breaking out, and they break out of the little containment unit, and then they can escape out of their jail cell because he has the power to get out of the jail cell. Meanwhile, you see Stan Lee here talking to I guess the guy. I don't even know his name. I forgot his name in the book. John Goldwater, which is actually a real person, and he's saying, what do you think of these ideas? And he goes, "Oh, Stan is definitely different, and and definitely out there." He goes, "But what about another superhero book?" And Stan Lee basically gets all upset, and he goes, "You know what? I just don't know if I have it in me to do another superhero book." He goes, "I'm going to go out to the desert and think about it." So meanwhile, we have this crazy experiment going on with these two scientists. So the book kind of goes into a little bit of a direction here. And this is kind of like a Green Goblin scene where these people are funding this guy's project, and trying to remember this guy's name. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let's see. Can't seem to find it. Dr. Zorbo, that's it. This guy here, Dr. Zorbo, is like Dr. Norman Osborn, and we can see that he's doing all these experiments, and the experiments fail because his assistant sabotages him. And basically they're pulling the plug on his funding. And then what happens is that everything just goes wrong, and all of a sudden it says, "I'm the reason he'll regret it, but you won't meet me until issue number 2. So you see this little teaser of who this guy is here. So I don't know if they're the two. It looks like it. So he looks like he's going to be the main bad guy. So we'll see what happens there. And as the issue comes along, all the bad guys, they escape out of this jail cell, and they start doing battle. And you can see they're just going crazy here into the spaceship, just trying to do whatever they can to escape. And everyone's careless. There's great colors in this book. It's nice. It's solid artwork. It's fun to look at. It's just a fun book. I mean, it's nothing wrong with it for me. I enjoyed it. It wasn't that bad. It's not that great, but it's not that bad either. It's just a fun book. So what happens is the systems get destroyed, and then the ship gets lost, and it plummets to Earth. And Stan Lee is just Stan Lee now is just outside his car, collecting his thoughts, and he's basically thinking about retirement. and he's texting on here saying, you know, today I'm sad to say I'm announcing my retirement with the superhero stories. And then all of a sudden the spaceship, it just comes crashing down onto Earth, and it's right in front of Stan Lee. And he goes, something just crashed to Earth. And he goes, little did I dream that after this moment, superhero stories everywhere would never be the same. And basically, that's how the issue ended. And we can see a little picture here of the next issue. So, in this story, I guess you get to see all of the characters that are involved with the book, and it looks like the 5 bad guys are going to come together with the 2 good guys, and they're going to do battle against this skeleton-like looking creature, and how everything is involved. I think it's going to be like, maybe it's going to be like Stan Lee who's involved with the whole thing, and maybe he's recording it, because it's supposed to be like a reality comic, so we'll see how it goes. So the rating I give the issue, great colors, decent story. I mean, it's nothing that we haven't seen again, but it was fun, and you don't get to see Stan Lee do so much as he used to. So I'm going to give it like a 3 out of 5. It was average. It was good, and I'll pick up issue 2. It's only 6 issues, and I'll see where the story goes from there. So if you guys are interested, check out Stan Lee's Mighty 7, or you can just, you know, follow my reviews right here on my channel. So with that being said, guys, I want to thank you for watching Comic Book Corner, and until the next comic book review, this is Spider Slayer signing off. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.